Today's episode is brought to you by PTZ Optics. Disability upgrade. New Wave Toys and their Replicate Amusements products. GG Retrobox. Get 3 to 5 games from your favorite series, consoles, and game genres delivered to your doorstep every month with GG Retrobox, the ultimate retro gaming subscription box for video game enthusiasts. Use code GRS15 at checkout to get 15% off your first box. And
Boom shakalaka! Hey everybody, it's Tim Kitzer here, the voice of some of your favorite video games like NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. And I'm here to talk to you about Old School Gamer Magazine. It's the magazine for retro gaming, and it's exploding. Kaboom! Print issues come out every other month, and if you want to go green, digital options are available. Visit oldschoolgamer.com and subscribe now. That's oldschoolgamer.com. Boom shakalaka! Kaboom!
You have failed me for the last time. You have failed me for the last time.
There is a great disturbance in the Force, but I will always be with you.
System 31 check. 5x5.
Coolant pressure?
550 psi.
All levels are holding steady. You think we have it under control, John?
Too early to tell.
Well, I must say it does look pretty promising to me. Well done. Now, I have to issue a communique sooner or later. Well, it'll give us more time to consider our next move. You see, John...
I see men risking their lives to avert disaster, total disaster.
I'm monitoring a lot of activity on the lunar surface. Looks like 50-some eagles are in flight. What's that all about?
Don't know, Lieutenant Turner. We're out of that loop.
Huh. Seems odd.
Tracking target drones. I got the left one. I got the right. Good on you both.
Line up for another run.
Target commander, Hog Leader. Suspend exercises and return to station immediately.
Roger that. What's up, Command? Does this have something to do with all the activity on the far side?
Orders from Alpha, Captain. Pretty intense down there. Just get on back.
Roger that.
the moon.
Now wake up, Commissioner. If this goes wrong, there won't be anybody to issue a communique. There will be no survivors.
Commander, it's going up!
Abort! Abort the mission! Main mission to all Eagles. Return to base immediately. Repeat, return to base immediately.
Alpha, can you hear me? Alpha, do you copy? Alpha, I'm not receiving you. Now, maybe you're receiving me. The moon is going out of the Earth's orbit. That explosion, it has pushed us out of the Earth's orbit. Alpha, can you hear me?
Computer, scan all frequencies, see if anyone's out there.
Mayday, Mayday, this is Captain A. Turner. My ship is almost out of fuel. Is anyone there?
Oh my god. Dad. Daddy? It's Alice! Lieutenant Turner, over.
Alice?
Yes. I'm on the metaprobe. About 400 kilometers from your position. What happened?
I think it's the end of the world, baby.
How much air do you have? We need to get you on board.
I see you now. I think I have enough fuel to make it to you.
A totally unforeseen accident on the lunar surface has caused very serious repercussions here on Earth. The gravity disruption, the earthquakes in the United States along the San Andreas Fault and in Yugoslavia, as well as southern France, has caused enormous damage to life and property. The International Lunar Commission, with its new chairman, is in executive conference at this moment, deciding what steps might be taken to rescue the 311 men and women on Moonbase Alpha. Little hope
Mom?
is held, however, that there are
Abby?
survivors. For a short time, it was thought a rescue might have been attempted from the space dock, until that, too, was hurled out of orbit. It is now
Can you pilot the ship?
the moon's acceleration away from Earth as part of the
Okay then. We catch the moon.
Now that's an introduction. That's an introduction. That's how you do it.
And no, you didn't tune into the wrong channel, because I think a lot of people were like, I thought this was the Glen Retro Show or Kicking It Old School, and it's, what's this Space 1979 for?
You know what? Sometimes I don't plan things out properly. When I talked to Shilo, I'm like, listen, when I get you on the show, he's like, yeah, we'll do September 13th. Totally forgetting it's Friday the 13th. And today is the 25th anniversary of the moon being blasted out of the Earth's orbit on September 13th.
In a fictional world.
In a fictional world. But today is also one of the actors, Dr. Helena Russell, is her birthday. She's 93 today, still alive.
The one behind you there. Look
yeah, that's her right there. Correct, right there. So it's her birthday today, so they decided to make that the day the moon gets blown out of the Earth's orbit. And I'm actually supposed to be in an eagle right now, but I couldn't find the artwork I had made. Oh, well. So it's really a show for Shilo, but I had to get those other things out of the way, especially James Earl Jones. That one kind of came out of left field, you know.
Our actors are getting old, Glenn.
They
All
are.
our favorite actors are getting old, and they're slowly perishing, unfortunately. Right?
Unfortunately. And James Earl Jones only lived about 15 minutes away from me where I in Stormville. And I knew a restaurant called McKinney & Doyle's in Pauling. And my neighbor used to live on his property. So I used to go there all the time for the past 25 years, just trying to catch him for a second so he can go, instead of this is CNN, this is Glen's Retro Show. But alas, I came with this close a couple of times to meeting him, but he was always, I just missed him every time. So
wasn't meant to be, man.
Wasn't meant to be. So just a huge fan of Darth Vader, obviously, and he'll be missed. He would definitely be missed.
Yeah, there's so many movies to his credit, like Field of Dreams. The list goes on and on. I mean, the dude had acting chops, not just voice chops, but acting. He was a good actor.
He was.
You know, so it's pretty good stuff. It's sad to see him go, and we'll see what AI maybe later on tries to mimic his voice.
I mean, you can
see how well it does.
You can see right here. I still have my original lunchbox from 1975, my Space 1999 lunchbox, my little dinky eagle that's blue. I have my other eagle, and I have for Shilo, my very first Kickstarter Centipede. Still works great, right there in the middle, followed by his latest, Zoltar. And of course, we have to have James Earl Jones Vader standing next to him. So I had to have all these things out here today for the, oops. I got too many cameras. This is my problem. It's too many cameras now.
Camera 1, camera 2,
problems.
camera 1, camera 2.
You think that they pre-recorded some Darth Vader stuff with him?
They might have.
You mean before he passed away?
Yeah, like maybe even years ago.
I don't think they need to, because when he was doing, I think it was Rebels, he okayed them to use AI to do his voice.
Oh, okay.
So they authorized him to do that. So they probably don't need to pre-record anything.
And it sounds right.
It sounded pretty good. It did. It wasn't bad.
Anyways, where are our manners? Welcome, Shilo, to the Kicking It Old School, and this is what, time number 3, right?
Thank you.
Something like
3
that.
times.
Like that.
Welcome. Happy Friday.
He did
He
not
wore a
have to dress
suit
up for
and
the
tie and
occasion.
everything.
He did.
He told me he was going to a wedding right after the show.
I am. I'm hot. I'm out of here. I have to go to a wedding. I'm getting married right after this, so it's pretty exciting. Sorry I didn't tell you, Mom, but you know.
So
does your mother really watch the show? Come on.
Yeah.
So we have
she
a
told
lot
me
of
to
people
dress
in the
up,
chat.
so.
We're not going to do the typical reading of the chat. We're going to get right into the show. If you have any questions, though, post it. Post it here. New Wave Toys, they're in the
Here,
chat.
I'll read
so-
off the chat. Welcome,
Yeah.
everyone.
That's it.
There you go. Welcome and sharing the Friday with us today. So, awesome.
So, Shilo, again, we do appreciate you coming on the show. You're a great collaborator with the channel. In fact, I wasn't expecting this, but Shilo, we're going to be doing some giveaways. So throughout the show, we do have some items that Shilo is donating to you guys. We have a cigarette machine, which is not out yet, but when it comes out, you will receive
Not
it.
real cigarettes included.
Not real cigarettes. We have the
1/6
wood grain.
only.
Yes, the wood grain change unit. We have a Coke, not the snorting kind, the drinking kind, and Ghouls and Ghosts. So we have 4 awesome giveaways for you guys out there in the chat, and hopefully it'll work.
And Oprah's got nothing on Shilo.
Nothing.
New Wave's toy thing for you. New Wave's thing for you. That's exactly what we're doing here. Cool.
Yeah.
So we've got Eduardo's in the chat, and we've got Shilo on camera as they cleared out. So give us a little, who's Eduardo exactly? He's your media manager or guy,
Well,
jack of all
Eduardo's
trades?
the
Or?
captain of the ship. That's what I call him, the captain. So
Cool.
he does a lot. He's basically our operations guy. Handles. I mean, we all wear a lot of hats, right? But he's definitely no exception. And he does everything from looking after the warehouse and the facility to sales to friggin' marketing.
Welcome, Eduardo, the
I don't know what I
captain.
would do without Eduardo, to be honest with you. So thank
He's a
you,
he's a
Eduardo.
really nice guy. He's a real
He's
nice
a
guy.
very nice guy.
I mean,
He went today and
I've dealt with
scoped
R-Cade
out-
1-Up, and the people who work with them, not so nice. But Eduardo is nice.
He's a very nice man. So thank you, Eduardo. And he's managing the chat and spending his Friday evening here with us tonight. So
cool.
And we have so many things to cover. We have so much to cover. That's why I wanted to get those 3 things out of the way so we can concentrate now with Shilo. So Shilo, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
There's a couple of things you probably want to talk about. We probably want to talk about some pinball, maybe some golden tea, maybe some crystal castles, maybe some other things. But if you have questions in the chat, please post it and we'll try and get it on and ask Shilo. But Shilo, how are you doing?
Doing really good. I was telling you guys before the show, it's just been a really busy week. I've been on the gas every day and night, working like a dog, and but making progress, and that's good. So we got a lot going on, and I'll probably start with the latest product we have in production right now, and we're facing a little bit of a delay because it's not. Basically, assembly's not going as fast as we'd like. And of course, China has a national holiday every friggin' month, it seems like. I mean, anybody thinks that they got it tough over there? Yeah, right, man. And when they take a week off, they take a week off.
They do.
You can't.
Nobody's working.
Nobody's working. They're having fun. They do it right. We do it wrong. We're still working, and we're just stressed out in a different place.
Well, that's Americans anyway. We Americans, I mean,
Same thing in Canada. Same thing in Canada.
It's just like you can't escape anymore. It's like you can't even escape when you're on the plane or something anymore. It's like if the friggin' internet follows you everywhere, right? But so a little bit of a delay there, but not bad. We're planning on finishing on the 27th of September. And
which unit are we talking about?
We're talking about the USB cigarette machine.
Nice.
And we're talking about the USB Artomat variant machine. And we're also making some more classic change machines in wood grain. because we just keep on getting more and more requests for those, and it's kind of a staple product. So, we've never really said it was like a strictly limited edition product or anything like that. So, we're making more of those too. I mean, people love it. People love the change machine, and it's just continues to be a very, popular item. So why not make some more? So that plus, actually, it's kind of funny. I just got this stool sample here.
Ew.
And we're doing.
I was gonna say.
You're gonna show a stool sample?
Not that, Glenn. You're sick.
He does have a dog. We started guessing.
Oh, here the dog just handed me the new design. Do you guys want to take a look?
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, she ate it. Sorry.
You can't use marshmallows on the top. That's no good.
I think Shilo planned that one. A stool sample.
Everything. She eats everything. My dog.
All the prototypes are gone.
All the prototypes just get eaten, man. It's crazy. No, we actually do have some really, really rad new designs coming out for stools, because we sold out of those a few months ago.
Not stool samples, just stools.
No, you sick. You guys are
Real
sick.
quick, on my sick note, Kevin Clausen did a $2 super chat. Don't worry, Shilo. Quality is more important, and I assume that's talking about the delays. But since we got a super chat here, we have to bring out super chat Vader for you, Kevin Clausen.
You have failed me for the last time.
Thank you for the $2 super chat.
Thank you, Kevin Clausen.
Very nice.
You're a gentleman and a scholar. You're absolutely right. We can't control everything, and we try to get production schedules, and things always slide, it seems like, no matter how much we pad it. It's just the Murphy's Law,
wait a second. Is your dog the new overhaul edition designer? You said your dog Maul.
Yeah, she is. She's doing custom work now for overall items.
Teeth marks are optional.
It's funny. I ordered some poop bags from Amazon, right? Doggy bags, and I mean they send you like 15 rolls, and they all have like 50 or 60 bags on them. And it was sitting on the front porch, and I didn't realize it. And of course, she got into them yesterday, so there's poop bags all over the front yard, like it's
and
covered.
there's full of holes in them, probably. Now you can't put poop in them.
Yeah, I got to throw them away. And so thankfully, she never unraveled every single roll, but still.
Actually,
So
I'm the biggest collector of poop bags. I have them all over. Actually, I took them all down now, but I have 1,000 poop bags all over the place.
That's to wrap up your little machines. You were using that?
Yeah, sure. Poop bags.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So yeah, you got to have those poop bags, man. If you got a dog.
I'm just looking at the chat here a little bit to see if there's any. But
so people have been asking Shilo about pinball. They have been talking about the pinball. So what's our status? What's our going on with the black hole?
Well, I'm going to have a major update at the same time as the Chicago Pinball Show.
Nice.
And this is going to be a massive update because we're also going to talk about some new things and to give an update on black hole. So right now, if you've been following along, we did have a problem with our original factory quitting on the project. That threw a wrench into everything. We did find a new factory, and it's taken a while to get everything up to speed as far as our drawings go. And when I say the drawings, it's the CAD drawings, right? So when we do it, we have to take photographs and measure everything and then shrink it down to 6 scale, right? And our CAD is perfect. It's a 100% replica in 1/6 scale. And then that needs to get converted so it can be assembled, right? So it can be manufactured, so it can be tooled, all these things. And turned out this is just, a very complex item. And it's taken a while of back and forth, but we're almost there. We're about to get into the prototype stage. As soon as we finish the prototype, we want to show that to everybody and then start our tooling and get into manufacturing. So we're really hoping to have it done by the end of December. Nice. That's our timing right now. Yeah. And like I said, middle of October, stand by. Big announcement in Chicago. Nice. Are you guys going? Are you going, Glenn? Are you going to the Chicago Pinball Show?
No.
Okay. I can't go either. My only show I'm doing is the World of Commodore in Toronto on the beginning of December. So, but I won't say it's the only show, but it's close enough to afford it.
How many people attend the World of Commodore?
Not a lot. I'd say a couple hundred.
30?
A couple hundred, actually. It's still pretty popular.
I remember in 91, so it was probably 4,000 or 5,000 down by the Intrepid. That's where they had the show back then. But in between that time and now, Jason did a $10 super chat. The machines may be 1/6 scale, Shilo, but our love for them is full size. And with that, Jason, you get Vader's wrath.
You have failed me for the last time.
It's dog day. Dog days of summer.
Yeah, it sure is.
Blue's actually over here. He fell asleep on the floor. He just passed out. He's out.
I only have a cat, and the cat's somewhere in the house.
Blue is 11 and a half. He's working on 12. 12 in January.
Okay. He's getting up there.
He's up there. But he's still doing good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So I have a question. My ignorance of new wave toy stuff. Is this the only pinball that you have in your lineup, or was there another one before? Is Black Hole the first one?
This is the first one, and that's why it's always the first one, whatever we do. I mean, Zoltar, Centipede, I mean, anything. It's just the first one's always the hardest. We're learning a ton. You know, in hindsight, I like mad at myself because it was like, what should we do? And we got to pick a Gottlieb table, right? And it's like, okay, well, Haunted House or Black Hole are, you know, probably the best ones, right? Or most well known anyways. And it's like, well, let's go with Black Hole because it has, you know, the spinning black hole disc, and it has the infinity lighting around the light box. And it has, you know, I mean, they both have double playing fields, right? All this stuff is like, let's go for the most possible detail as possible, right?
Most complicated one too.
yeah, because it partially because you know, it's not fully playable, right? That's another reason why, you know, it's like, well, let's just have all these other features as much as we can. And that's all working and stuff, but again, it just hasn't been. It's been a challenge for sure, but we're getting there, and we'll get it done, and it's going to be great. And like I said, there's a big announcement coming up, so stay tuned for that about pinball.
Excellent.
Cool. Really exciting announcement coming up. Plus an update on Black Hole. So yeah. So besides that, right now Crystal Castles is live. If you haven't heard, we're doing Crystal Castles, and we have the collab trackball stick with GRS with Glenn, and that features a custom red illuminated trackball. And actually, we sent one over to the factory to color match the original for both our 1/6 scale and for the full size one. And I don't know if you got it ready to go, Glenn, but if you want, you could show a little clip of the full size trackball.
I have it actually on the screen right now.
Okay.
So according to the website, there's 9 days left before the pre-sale, or 10 days almost there for the pre-sale to go live. Is that?
No, to end.
To end. The pre-sale.
To end, so it's there now. So you can order it right now, and then it wraps up.
Yeah. And remember, you can save 20%. Cool. But you have to join the email list to get the code. Eduardo can post it in the chat. But yeah, we always encourage people to join the email list. You know, and we love doing variants that help tell the story of the game. And there's a few things I want to talk about here. And first of all, I want to say that Franz, who was the original designer of Crystal Castles, is involved with the project.
Oh, wow.
And in fact, we wanted him to join the show tonight. But unfortunately, he had surgery on Tuesday, very serious surgery. And I checked in with him last night, and he seemed to be in good spirits, and he said he was at home resting, but he's just not up to being on a show at a few days after having major surgery, right? So, I mean, I hope everybody can send their thoughts and prayers over for him. And, everybody else, seems like a lot of people are sick these days. We a couple of YouTubers there with John from Gen X Grown Up, and then Pat, right, from Patman. Those guys had GoFundMe's or whatever it's called. Is it called GoFundMe? Whatever.
Yeah, probably something like that,
yeah, little donation things. I don't know. I hope those guys are doing all right. And but Franz, I did have a chance to interview him, and I was asking him about the field test prototype and what he remembered about it. And he told me he remembers that it had pre-production artwork and no side artwork, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. So I mean, we've tracked down a few photographs of this, and I just want to say, like, the field test prototype editions is, again, to help really say the whole story of Crystal Castles, right? And we've done the same with Qbert. I know you guys just had Warren Davis on, and we had a great collaboration with him where we actually replicated his very own pre-production Qbert with all the variant artwork and stuff like that, right down to stains and inconsistencies and weird artwork and all that stuff. And we think that's really fun and almost like educational, almost, in a way. It's like, it's so interesting to think, they at one time Atari was going out to arcades, rolling in a game, and the product manager or whoever would stand there and observe people playing and see how long they're playing for, and is it males, is it females, who's this attracted, blah blah blah.
Nowadays,
all these things.
How do you know?
I don't know these days how anything
a survey
works.
Online. That's what it is, a damn survey online.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because we're looking at it, and I love reading our community's comments and stuff, and somebody mentioned, like, well, the original field test unit didn't have color T molding, and it started me thinking. I'm like, you know what? We love what we did with Golden Tee, where we're going to let everybody vote on what marquee we use for production, right? That's coming up. We're going to have a major Golden Tee update coming up here in a couple weeks too. And in fact, we did a bunch of progress this week. But going back to Crystal Castles, it was like, all right, there's this really funky looking, field test unit. Let's replicate it and make it a variant, right? And so anyways, there was people talking, and there was like, well, it was black. And I mean, normally we always try to be like as arcade accurate and perfect as we possibly can be, but with something like this, it's like we take a little bit of liberty. We thought it looked better with like a colored T molding, right? So we decided, this is a really fun way to actually get the community to vote on like what color something's going to be. In this case, it's just the T molding, but it's still, what do people really want? They want it just black? They want it blue or green? So I mean, there's a survey we sent out, and maybe by the end of the show, Eduardo can maybe post the, what the ranking is. But just look at it as a fun thing to get everybody involved with the project. And that's basically a good little dovetail into Golden Tee and the full size real arcade stick that we're working with Glenn on. And we actually sent Glenn a couple updated pictures of the Golden Tee cabinet. that we could show. And
I'll pull it up in a little bit.
Okay.
Real quick, Shilo, just because
Yeah.
Stephen asked this question a couple of times. Stephen wanted to know if New Wave Toys will eventually release some late 80s, early 90s cabs like Narc or Smash TV. Now, before you answer, I am putting something in the chat here. We're going to do our first giveaway, but to prepare for that giveaway, you need to put this in. So we're doing a keyword this time. So if you look in the chat, I just posted New Wave Rocks. All one word, all
without the little arrow thing.
Yeah, no arrow, just New Wave Rocks. Just that wording.
No spaces, lowercase.
No, so I'm going to give you time to put it in while Shiloh answers, and this is going to be for the cigarette unit, which is not available yet. So, Shiloh,
copy paste.
We have any early 80s or 90s consoles still on the board to come out?
Well, Narc's late 80s, right? Actually, I think Narc was early 90s.
It is, 90s.
And that's one of my absolute favorite games for that era. Some of these games just bring back memories. I remember playing with my buddy Ryan. You know, it's a 2-player game, and just like,
wasn't it made by Midway?
Yeah,
is that the one they used the sprites that Warren Davis kind of worked on and all that stuff?
Right, yeah, so it's kind of like the Aerosmith real,
yeah,
type of thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it was
Are we still planning some of these earlier machines, like late 80s, early 90s? Is still stuff on your drawing board that's coming out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's not off the table. It's funny. It's like we went kind of even newer with Golden Tee, and I think maybe it's a little bit too new. So I think that little sweet pocket there is a little bit earlier in the 1990s. Where there's some really interesting stuff coming out. So the answer is absolutely yes.
Okay, so
it's a bottomless pit, to be honest with you.
On an absolutely yes, we are going to pull up this here, and we are going to pick a winner for a not yet released New Wave Toys 1/6 scale cigarette unit. The little things you pull out, little fake cigarettes will come out and stuff like that. So, Charlie, you tell me when. I'm going to hit the roll it button, and we're going to pick a winner.
Go now.
Alfred Berger, you just won. So Alfred, please send an email to glensretroshow@gmail.com with your full name, address, and a phone number for confirmation, and we will get that out to you as soon as that's available.
Congrats.
Congratulations, Alfred.
Yeah, congrats, Alfred. What show was that? Was it the butler's name was Alfred? What
Alfred
was it?
Is Batman's butler.
Oh, Batman! That's what.
Alfred.
Batman. That's right.
Batman's butler just won himself a cigarette thing.
Congratulations, buddy.
So it's a replica cigarette machine, and it comes with a smoking kit in 1/6 scale, right? So it's a little black ashtray. two little individual cigarettes, right, and 2 packs of cools, like the blue one and
don't try to smoke the little plastic cigarettes.
Don't try to smoke them though, boys. You might get sick.
Yeah,
it'd be kind of hard to light too because they're really small.
Everybody thinks you're smoking you know what?
A very small joint.
A very small one, yes. So that's cool.
So we were just talking about that. So Alfred, you can expect those. We don't have an actual set date for our shipping right now, but I would assume we're going to be 3rd week of October, something like that, or by the end of October, we'll be shipping those out.
Before Halloween.
Halloween time frame. Yep.
So basically, right now, you guys are wrapping up Black Hole with its little. We'll call them little bumps in the road, I guess. And that's not wrapping up, but it's progressing at this point, stuff like that.
Progressing with a big announcement coming for Chicago's Pinball Show. Yeah, very excited about this. This is we have a plan with our mini pins, and And as you guys know, it took a little bit of heat because we're not fully playable and stuff like that. But we have a phased plan, and eventually it's going to get there. Cool. And it's going to take some time. But, there's so many awesome pinball machines to make, right? There's just so many to
never stops.
Into your collection. So,
that's cool.
Very excited about pinball, and it's certainly a big focus going forward.
Cool. So basically, also the Crystal Castles, you're making a variant that'll have the prototype, I guess, that one that was out in the field.
Yes, the field test.
OG, the mainstream one, also with the little bear with the funky hat. And all that stuff.
So
cool.
I mean, talk about a beautiful cabinet, right? Just the artwork.
It's well done, the artwork on that one.
Yeah.
As a graphic designer, well done. The Atari knocked it out of the park.
I can't remember her name. It was Barbara something, I believe, the actual graphic designer, and she's pretty famous. She's done a lot.
Wow.
Time she worked at Atari. So maybe we'll get her on too, and we'll all come on the show at launch, something like that. But another great thing that Franz has agreed to is to sign some cabinets for us.
Oh, wow.
And we've done this in the past with like, actually starting with Centipede. We got Donna Bailey to sign some, and we gave those away when we were shipping pre-orders, and we do like a golden ticket type thing. So you crack open your inner box, and if the golden ticket's sitting on there, inside will be a signed unit, right? I mean, we've done that with Don Bluth. We've done that with Warren Davis again. So we always try wherever possible to get the original dev team involved, and it helps us a lot because we get them to test the game and tell us if there's anything that's weird or funky. Jonathan Hurd helped us with Food Fight, which has a very complex analog joystick, and
49 way.
He was very complimentary on that, how we could get that working in 6 scale, right? So it's an analog to digital joystick we used, right? So anyways, it's a big thing, and it's an important thing, and we're really stoked that he's going to sign some cabs. We're going to do it probably not signed in the front, something like we're probably just going to sign some of the bases and then send them back before manufacturing. And so we're not even going to know which ones are signed or not. Because in the past we would get the shipment in, we would either meet up and do a signing, or we would ship them to whoever was doing the signing and get them back, and then would do it that way, right? So we're doing it a little bit different this time. But hopefully Franz gets he sounded good again, and he gets back on his feet here, and all that kind of stuff. He's a really interesting guy. He's like a piano composer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's still a game designer, and I believe he worked on some conversions of arcade machines to Nintendo.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm on a blank right now. I want to say Road Blasters, but maybe that's not what it was. Anyways, we'll get him on, and he's an interesting cat. And it's always interesting talking to these guys about the early days of Atari and stuff like that,
man,
right?
Yeah.
So,
I'm still really surprised with everything that there's never been a movie about the early days of video games. I know they did Tetris, and it was a great movie. And there's been like the King of Kong, and there's been other things. But like Atari in the beginning, there's so much stuff that happened, good and bad, behind the scenes, that I know a couple times, I think even Sony was talking to Nolan Bushnell, and it fell through a couple of times. But it really needs to be a movie about these early days of gaming, because it was pretty cutthroat and sneaky and espionage and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I love looking at old interviews with, like, there's one with the I don't know if he's the CEO. I think he might have been the CEO for North America for Taito, and he's just a money hungry dick. And then you talk to some other people, it's just all about the art and the game and stuff. It's like
it's all about the cash.
Very cutthroat situation. And it's so funny how, there was so many arcade games released, but so many of them are just sludge, right? They're just not good. Or they're just Me Too games, right? So
I just want to, if I can inject, we have a lot of questions coming through and make sure.
Yeah.
So one question was from Jim. He wants to know, are you actually setting up a display at the Chicago Expo? You're going to have your own display area over there?
There'll be okay. Yeah, there'll be a display.
Excellent. And we also have a question from Video Game Vegas. Steven, can you read that one?
Yeah, New Wave Toys. Question, I lost my power cable for my Coke machine. Do you guys, and I have a little pop-up in front of that word, do you guys have any extras I can buy from you?
Oh, you're fucked. There's no way. No. Of course. I mean, we'll send you one. Reach Eduardo's in the chat there. Email us a customer service, and we'll send you one.
nice guy giving the poor guy a heart attack. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
What a dick.
Not even a USB-C cable? Is what's the power on
it's an actual AC kit plug, right? Gotcha. So it's got an adapter on it and stuff.
Is it the 8 plug or the 8 with the flat end? But it's a common plug.
Gotcha. Well, you know what? Your golden ticket story reminded me of a Microsoft story, and I have to tell you guys this because it is the most heartbreaking story ever. All right, so you guys remember the Xbox 360 had the red ring of death, right? Yeah. And machines would go back. Okay, so this guy, he basically had to send his 360 to Microsoft to get repaired, but his Xbox was all signed by the entire, well, not the entire, but a lot of people from Bungie that made Halo. There was like 20 signatures on there. And he wrote a letter when he packed it in, and he says, can you please, salvage the case because it means a lot. He wrote a nice letter. He basically sent it over there, and whoever at the repair center literally cleaned it, all the signatures off of the console, shipped it back, and the guy went on social media, and he was like practically crying. And this is a kind of a Microsoft do well story. They saw the post on social media. They went to Bungie. They got him a brand new 360, got it all signed with more signatures, sent them many copies of Halo, and shipped it back to him. But it just goes to show you that if you get your stuff at a repair center, there's important signatures on these things. You might not want to send it into the repair center.
Yeah.
But Microsoft did good about it, which was awesome.
Signatures on your Coke machine.
Yeah.
It's funny, actually, I've been to the Bungie office, and I was working on a project with them years ago, and they actually have a really cool arcade in their office.
They do, actually. I've been there.
Yeah. Have you been there? Yeah,
I've been there.
They got about 15, 20 cabs in there, something like that. It's pretty cool.
We got a tour of that in the motion capture area and all that stuff. It's pretty
Before we
cool.
go on, 1 second here, we have lots of giveaways still. So we're gonna keep talking, but I want to give people a chance to put in and win. So this is for the wood grain change unit. I'm putting in the chat right now. New Wave gives fun. All one word, all lowercase. And while
you missed
you're doing
an opportunity there, Glenn.
What's that? What?
You should have put gives wood.
I was going to do that, but I tried to be nice. I had that originally, and I took it out.
New Wave Toys gives wood.
That's what I had.
There you go.
Look, see,
no.
now listen. I those people. I tried to be decent this time, and when I did, Steven's
This
like,
is
"Should have
not
put
a
the wood
family
in."
show. Give it up.
So Jolly Green Shiloh wants to know, will the deck? They keep calling it it's really New Wave Toys deck. It's just my trackball. It's your deck. But will that
Somebody
deck ever
actually
be
wrote
sold
wood.
separately?
Sorry.
Will that be sold separately?
I'm sorry, so I just saw. Who the hell did it? Hold on. Andy's Game Room wrote, New Waves gives wood. I'm sorry, but that's hilarious.
So
Maybe
Shiloh,
I was going to say maybe give a
offer them
secondary
separately.
prize.
I hope we do. If you guys get wood over this stuff like I do,
They do. That's why they're
on,
here. Hey, Glenn, you should do a tiny giveaway or a sticker or something of the people that wrote the wood part.
Well, see, I tried to be nice, and I didn't put that. So, Shiloh, the question was, will New Wave Toys sell the deck independently, or it's always going to be part of a package with either a Golden Tee or Crystal Castles or something else?
That's a good question. I think we will, Glenn. I mean, we never really talked about this, but I think we will make some extras. Starting with Golden Tee, of course, it's first, right?
Right.
It's essentially the same. It's the same cabinet for both games. The only difference is obviously the button layout, and Glenn's trackball is injected in a transparent red and has illumination feature, right? So that's the difference of the two games, and of course the artwork. They're going to work with each other. So if you have Golden Tee, you're going to be able to play Crystal Castles on it wirelessly via HDMI if you like, and vice versa. So as far as making a generic one or something like that, I don't know, maybe. But right now it's kind of fun to do it this way with the artwork on it and having like the same trackball and stuff like that. It's just an extra thing. And you know, so far so good. And I'm amazed that we've sold a lot more for Crystal Castles than Golden Tee.
Well, I think the illuminated trackball and the artwork. I mean, the artwork. We're going to bring up the Golden Tee in a minute. Let's do this next giveaway, and we'll talk about that some more. So
Okay.
we're gonna do the drawing right now. Let me pull this up over here. We're gonna do the drawing for the wood.
The
Apparently
Woody.
Toys gets
We call it the Woody.
So
I couldn't help myself, Ben. I'm sorry.
You tell me when, and I will roll it, and we'll pick a winner.
Drop.
Holy shnikes! Video Game Vegas, you, sir, got some wood tonight.
Nice.
Excellent.
Everybody's got wood in Vegas.
And I think Eduardo participated in there. I saw him. He wrote. Hold on. I gotta read what he said. It's pretty funny. Where is it here? Something about email us and we'll send you wood or something. I forget
It's
what
got to be a self-addressed stamped envelope, and they'll send you one of those tongue depressors. And they'll send you some wood. There you go.
Congratulations on your wood.
Yeah, we're gonna send that out. It's also in the same container as the USB cigarette machines and the automat machines, and it features our new back layout, which has 2 USB-C ports.
Very
nice.
nice.
It's a little bit of an upgrade over the old one.
Nice.
And again, actually, we're really stoked that we're bringing that back in. It's a great little prop.
Right, and speaking real quick, if you haven't won anything yet, don't worry. We still have a Ghouls and Ghosts and a Coke unit still coming.
Yeah. We actually came across a little stash of Ghouls and Ghosts. That's why we're giving one away. And if you missed out on it, what's that?
Those are the best kind.
The ones you
He
find
said
is
you
magically
missed a
find.
bunch.
I gotta
Glenn
tell
said
you-
you missed us a bunch. That's what
I
he's
got to
saying.
tell you, I did a check before the show. I think I have the largest 1/6 scale collection on the planet. I have 63 1/6 scale cabinets. If anyone
And
can
how
beat
many,
63,
how
let me
many
know.
of those are Build-A-Cades?
So
Guinness
I
Book of
did-
World
I did the
Records.
artwork
Here we go.
So I did it. So I have 33 New Wave Toys 1/6 scale products. 33.
Wow.
I only have 30 Build-A-Cades, but I do.
Yes.
I see.
We beat
I know where to go,
Build-A-Cade.
Shiloh. Let's see. There we go. Boom. So these are my Build-A-Cades over here. Yours are still in boxes because I need to find out how I want to display them all properly. My Build-A-Case we made sure actually my Build-A-Case will fit your Replicades. That was like a big thing. Originally, if I bring this up again for a real quick second, you can see my Pong unit, that case is much shorter. And then the Donkey Kong is a little bit taller, and then the tallest. And the reason we had to do that was the field test edition of Missile Command.
Yeah.
I
Very
would
tall.
try. I thought Street Fighter was the biggest. I'm like, oh, that wasn't biggest. And we had to stop production. And they hated me. I'm like, we got to fit the Missile Command field test edition in there. So I do have 33 New Wave Toys devices over my 30. So that's got to tell you guys something. New Wave Toys definitely makes some nice stuff. I love it.
Very cool.
Thank you, Glenn. You've been a great supporter of us, and we really appreciate you, and we really appreciate all your work you've done on your own time doing this show and everything else online, man.
Apparently, from what I'm told, all of this has cost me quite dearly on a personal level, which kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. I've been told by a few people that, grow up. Okay. And in any case, I enjoy this. This is something I definitely like Shilo was saying. I'm doing this really for the enjoyment. I'm doing this to help these companies like New Wave Toys to better interact with the people who buy their stuff, because you actually listen. You hear what these people are saying. And if it's something you can do or something you can change, you do it. It makes a better product, right?
Yeah, I mean that's and point in. I always like giving examples of things, and that's an exact example why we did the survey today for the team holding. It was just reading comments and reading what people say. And I mean, you can't do that too much. A lot of times you got to stick to your guns because you already sort of made a plan. But in this case, it's like, why not? Why not try this?
That's cool.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Again, let me pull this up real quick. Where is it? Time Art Lando. I'm going to take you up for a second there. It all started with Kickstarter and that one centipede cabinet. And I'm going to admit, when I saw that, I was like, that's not really going to work. That's not going to work. That's, come on. And I think it was $99 for the Kickstarter, or $89. Yeah. It was $89.99. I don't remember. It was quite
the early bird was $89.99, if you could believe it. Now they're about $899 to buy one.
Right. So I said, all right, I'm gonna bite, because I got to see how the trackball even works. It's supposed to be this little trackball. It's going to work. And it still works great. Now, there was some learning in that, because there was a firmware update you had to come with. Unfortunately, it didn't bother me. I never actually did it. I didn't do the firmware upgrade on mine. Mine still does the battery drain, supposedly. And that just means that the trackball, when the machine is off, is still drawing a little current. And there was a firmware update that fixed it. And New Wave Toys not only had to go out of their way to make a special cable to make it work, but they even gave new stickers to go over the screws, so you kept it looking completely stock. So most companies wouldn't have done that. They would just say peel the stickers off and do this and be done. But New Wave Toys wanted it to look the way you got it, and that's what I like about Shilo. Shilo cares about the detail. I care about the details, and Shilo cares about it. Although I'm not wearing a tie, but he is. But those things pay off to people, because people are very passionate about what they collect and what they spend the money on. And New Wave Toys is not just something you can buy and play. You can plug your TV set, you got the control deck, so you can play in the machine. But it is also a collectible. It is something people collect and cherish. It brings back a lot of nostalgia. So Shilo, I even remember before the coin doors worked, you still sent little coins. You made the keychain that would light up for your keys. All these cool little things you didn't need to do, but you did.
Yeah, we did. It's called stacking the value. And I mean, we had to kind of do it there in the beginning. Just trying to, do as much as we possibly could. And we still do. We put as much into the box as we possibly can afford to do. And we continue to do that. And there's one thing that people don't really realize, but we always make upgrades as we're developing a product. Not always. If we don't have to, we don't have to. But I'll give you an example. For the Golden Tee miniature trackball, we couldn't use the same sensor that we've used for Missile Command.
Because it works great. Different color?
Command. Pardon?
Because it was different color?
Yeah. Well, that's true. It's also true for Crystal Castles. That's right. So we've had to upgrade the sensor for both Golden Tee and Crystal Castles. In Golden Tee's case, it was to get as much as the registration as possible, spinning the small trackball. It spins, but it doesn't spin like Glenn's, right?
No, it doesn't.
No, I mean, how can it? It's
tiny.
1/6 the size.
Weight,
It's
size
the size of a
matters.
piece of popcorn.
Right.
Yeah, right. But you know, that's the time we want to make sure things are working, and I mean that's why I've been up late every single night this week working on Golden Tee and getting that dialed in and testing and firmware updates and this, that, and the other thing.
Okay, you
And,
mentioned Golden Tee again. So why don't we show the latest Golden Tee?
Yeah, let's show it.
There we go.
This is again hot off the presses. This is the brand new prototype. And if you guys, if anybody's seen, we've been playing around with like several different prototypes. A lot of them don't have artwork. A lot of them have the wrong button configuration. This, that, and the other thing. But this is the final construction, and it is extra heavy duty. It's very robust. You guys are going to be happy when you get this. It is heavy and it is tough.
You get to have my ball in your hand.
Yeah, you get to have Glenn's one ball in your hand.
That's it. Coney Sparrow.
That's it. Just one. That's all he needs.
This will withstand the fury of a room full of drunk people.
Oh yeah.
Exactamendo.
That's good. So this game is going to be played when you're out of your mind and you want to play some Golden Tee. Damn it!
It's when you're with your buddies.
Happy, Shilo. You remove the screw holes.
Ah, yes. Thank you guys.
Yeah, you don't want to get your hand caught in that either by flinging.
Well, that was actually enough to mess up your shots.
Yeah,
having those bolts, right? So, the community is unbelievable. The eye for detail, and the passion, and everything. We love it, and it keeps us on our toes. And we want to make everybody happy, although we can't always. As we always say, right? But there's actually a really nice protective cover over the artwork, so it's not gonna rub off like another company's product.
Oops.
And there's a 1-inch thick top layer, I guess you could call it, the top panel.
Right.
1 inch thick. And so that's real T-molding there, guys.
Wow.
And then we put the add credit and menu buttons on the side. So they're out of the way, but still easy to access. At one point we had them in the front, but we found it was much better here on the side. And they're out of the way, so you're not going to hit them or anything when you're drunk as fuck and your like hands are flying around and everybody's screaming and everything else. Yeah, this is a very robust unit, and we made it extra tough. And so really proud of it. And we'll be showing some more photos and better photos of this coming up to everybody who's pre-ordered. And thank you again for anybody that did pre-order. We really appreciate the support.
Because this game here was mainly in bars, not arcades per se.
It was very much a bar game, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like, like the Pac-Man. So yeah, Pac-Man was in bars and stuff, but this was we'll call it the golf party game in a sense, Right. So Golden Tee is that type of game in a sense, So.
And that's why we made it so you have a good party game. We got 6 titles on there, so there's lots of courses. And cool. It brings back those bar memories for a lot of people. And I got to really respect for IT, because they found a niche in the bars with golf using a trackball at a time when there wasn't a lot going on with arcade machines.
Right.
Oh God, no. Yeah, you're right.
And they did very, very well. Very well. And they still
enough to have how many sequels to that game?
Well, look at it now. We extended our pre-sale through their World Championship, which is in Vegas. That looks like one of these World of Warcraft, whatever these
esports
things are these days. Like it's just wild, and
they're all playing Golden Tee.
Yeah, everybody's playing the latest Golden Tee. Yeah.
Wow. Are you guys going to be there showing off the...
Well, I mean, we were. So that's already passed. But we reached a lot of new people. And I mean, this is, it's for our people who get it and like it and, played it and stuff like that. But it's also for a whole huge community of Golden Tee players. And people who are into it, are really into it, especially the newer games. Like I know Rexer and Kev are very much into Golden Tee.
They are very much into it, yes.
Yeah, so you could see, how much some people are into it just from those boys, right? So, it's a great game, and we're really happy with the way the controller came out. And I'm about to sneeze.
So somebody was asking which games are on there. So I've got the little graphic up. There's Golden Tee 3D, Golden Tee 99, Golden Tee 97, Golden Tee 2K, Golden Tee 98, and Golden Tee Classic. So you get 6 games in this little cabinet. So that was answering one of the questions that went by. So Golden Tee 3D is in there.
Yeah.
So you get all 3 games, or 6 games, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've mentioned this before to people, but we really tried really, really hard to get Golden Tee 4 running because we felt that was a more modern than the games we have right now. Plus, nobody's done it before, and unfortunately, we were not able to get it running.
The performance just wasn't there. I think at the
it's just it wasn't there. And I mean, part of that was also to get Silver Strike running, which you need a PC, right? There's a special security key and all this other stuff, and we tried, and then we eventually just had to give up, and it was like, damn it, we have to do these, these older games, but they're still good and they're still fun, and it's exactly that. It's a good party game, and if you want to get into a Golden Tee full size or the newer cabs, they're very expensive, right?
Now,
very expensive.
Real quick,
so we kind of look at this.
The Rexer noted that the panel was missing a button for 3D.
It's missing a button?
That's what he says. The panel's missing a button for 3D.
Something to look at. Eduardo, write that down.
You write it down. Get it in there.
Okay, Rexer, I'm going to be hitting you up, bud. I'm not sure what that is, but
also,
there you go. We got an eye for detail, like we said.
Yeah, that's it. And that's it. It's these type of interactions. If something was missed, that it can be picked up and fixed. So this is why communication between a company and the people who know, because sometimes when you're even dealing with the company that makes a machine, they just miss things. They don't think about it. But people who love it may pick up on it. So obviously, thanks, Rexer. And Shilo will take a look. And
thanks, Rexer. We'll probably hit you up to get more detail on that.
Excellent.
It's time to say it now before it goes to production.
Exactly.
You don't want to wait till 600 of them are on the line there. And it's like,
a good friend of mine, Tim, did a $9.99 super chat. Didn't really say anything, but when you do something like that, you're going to get Vader's wrath. Let's see if I can find it now. I got so many things on my screen. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. 1, 2, 3.
You have failed me for the last time.
Anyway.
That actually looks pretty good.
I got to bring this up just because it's so trippy. But the whole Mandela effect thing with Star Wars and Luke, I'm your father.
Actually, the exact words were, "No, I am your father." That's the exact words. He never said, "Luke, I'm your father." It's "No."
But now it's Luke.
Who says that? What are you talking about?
Mandela effect, bro.
Yeah, I know. I get it, but that's not what he said.
Is it the Berenstein Bears or the Berenstein?
Exactly.
Exactly right. Or 3D button missing? Or 3D button not missing? I don't know.
Is the 3D button really missing, Rexer? Or are you in a parallel universe?
Before we went and got the 1980 parallel universe, end of the Earth shift. Yeah.
I think on that note, I think it's time to do another giveaway. We have a Coke. Now, is this a classic Coke
No,
Oh, that
we're
new
doing
stuff.
Ghouls and Ghosts next, I thought.
Yeah,
Coke's
we did
last.
say that one for last. Make people
Oh,
wait
okay,
for that
okay.
one.
Oh, you got to do
So-
a play on words with the word Coke. Come on.
Right. So is it
man.
new Coke or regular Coke Classic? Which machine we
No,
talking
the
about?
Coke Classic. So
Coke
the new
Classic,
Coke
okay.
ones are long gone, guys.
Coke is it.
So since I'm going to be family friendly again, Steven,
Ah.
I'm going to put in the chat, give you guys a chance for a New Wave Cares, all one word, kind of like the Mandela Effect and the Berenstain Bears. New Wave Cares. So
Bears.
put New Wave Cares in there. We'll let this go for a minute, and we'll continue talking about the beautiful little doggy here in Shilo. And so, Shilo, let me ask you this, something a little outside of it. So you've been in business how long now? About 7 years?
It's going to be 8 years in September.
Okay, so 8 years. 8 years. So in that time frame, like, how do you feel
At
like
the
it's
end of
going?
September, sorry, the 30th.
It's not
yeah.
easy. It's not easy starting your own business, and you've kind of started this, and you have a very dedicated fan base.
Yeah.
How do you feel about all this?
Man, I just go back and so thankful for our community and our customers, that have supported us for all these years now. And it's just so many of them have stayed interested and have been along for the ride for all this time. It's amazing. And we continue to pick up new people. And unfortunately, they get soaked on the aftermarket stuff. I did a quick eBay search for Ghouls and Ghosts.
Right.
$900.
Yeah, your Tempest and Centipede are around that same as well.
I mean,
are people actually buying them at that price for real?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? It's crazy, Steve. We had Zoltars sold on eBay in Canada for like $300 to $500 when they could have just went on our website and bought it from our website and paid for the shipping, which is probably going to be about $70 or $80. Still a hell of a lot cheaper
than paying on eBay. What a bunch of morons!
I don't know why people pay eBay. But
we got a super chat from Steps Gaming. New Wave has the hype and the passion, and now Steps gets the Vader.
You have failed me for the last time.
I'm just dying to see how long it takes people to get so sick of that. They're like, Glenn, just stop. I'm waiting for them to do it. Just stop.
I think it just looks cool.
It does.
I have it on mute.
It does look pretty cool.
I don't hear the sound, but I can just make a kaboom sound or something.
It does. Kaboom. All right. So we're going to pull up here. We have a ton of people putting in New Wave Cares. We have over 140 people in the live chat. Let's bring this up over here and get my Space 1999 out of the way. If I can. There we go. And Shilo, you are going to pick the person who's going to win the next prize, a Coke Classic unit, as soon as you tell me to roll it.
Roll it.
Sonny Richards, you, sir, just won yourself a Coke Classic machine. Please make sure you send your full name, address, and phone number to glensretroshow@gmail.com, and we'll get that out to you.
And of course, as long as you live in the greater Los Angeles area, we'll ship it to you for free.
Nice.
I mean, that's the oldest joke, but it's still really funny if you ask me.
You got to come and drive over and pick it up.
No, we'll ship you anywhere. We're good like that.
I remember the first time,
Not only is it a Coke vending machine, it has real vending action.
It does.
And it gives out little tiny Coke cans.
And the funny part
that are made of
was,
solid
when we were in
aluminum.
Cleveland, you didn't even realize how cold it made the cans. I was there with Steven. He had the Coke in the machine. He handed it to you. It gets cold.
Yes. And that was a kind of a hot room or
dying
warehouse or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it's freezing cold, like almost ice. We really went overboard on the cooling. We put the best fans in there. We put 2 in there. I mean,
and it wasn't me, not this Steven. It was some other Steven.
there's a lot of like smaller USB type like fridges like this on the market, and we bought a whole load of them, and they're all absolute garbage. Like barely cooling, it's just horrible.
Wow.
So I mean, we really, when we do something, we really try to go, to exceed expectations. With an ice
and you
cold.
did. You even exceeded your own expectations because you didn't even know it did.
Well, I was impressed. Let's just put it that way.
Well, I use mine all the time, and it absolutely keeps my Coke. I admit I do drink a Mountain Dew once in a while, but Coke Classic is where it's at. In fact, to all my people in the chat here, I bought like 7 items at the grocery stores today. 7, $111 freaking dollars for 7 items.
Did you get a kiss with that too?
Now, just be quick. These are things that'll be wiping on my butt and eaten and done. But a New Wave Toys for $140, years of pleasure, years
That's
of
right,
wood,
Glenn.
years of Coke, years of fun.
And not only that, our products are an investment, and they're gonna, if you ever come across hard times, you could sell it and make some money off.
That's the bit, and Shilo, I've said this. I tell people all the time, when it
value.
comes up to that pre-order time, take that coupon, buy it. Even if it's something you think you don't want, you can absolutely sell it, and you will make more than the money back on it. Pretty much every item so far I know you've sold has gone way up in value, and people have FOMO for not doing it, miss out on that coupon code, and then they got to spend a lot of money to get it, where you can even buy 2. Buy 1, sell 1. I mean, and that's kind of creepy and stupid, but it's just something you could do, and then fund your next couple purchases with the money you made from selling one on eBay.
Yeah, I mean, keep the one in the pack. Don't even open it. That's where the somebody looking to buy one, they're gonna want a sealed box.
True.
For sure.
You get top dollar.
So what are we doing for time here? 9:15. Okay, not bad. Not too bad. We knew the show would run a little.
I keep
long.
forgetting you're a time Nazi.
I have to ask you,
Nazi.
I'm not a time Nazi. Not today. It's all good.
Before I forget, I want to ask you your thoughts, Time Nazi, specifically.
Oh, me? Okay, I'm not the
because you are a ColecoVision fanatic.
Yep.
What do you think of the new ColecoVision home arcade machine?
I'd rather not talk about it, but because I don't have things to say. I think it's a. You ever watch the episode of The Simpsons with the Homer mobile?
Yeah.
It's like that to me.
It's the Homer mobile of home arcade.
Like, instead of building that thing, they should have made a plus like they do with Atari, the 2600 plus, like a ColecoVision plus, like a mini, and place cartridges. That would have been smarter than this really weird, another big cabinet that I don't need in my house. I don't care if it has stickers of Coleco all over it.
And just an FYI, I'm involved with that cabinet, Steven. So you're trash talking something I'm working with. Just saying.
I didn't know, but whatever. Look at it this way. It's not for me. Let's just say that.
Steven's telling it the way it is.
Yeah,
man.
that's true.
So
that's true.
It's his opinion. He's entitled to it.
You know what? I just don't have the space, and it just has logos on it. And power to selling the stuff that you do, Glenn, it's awesome. It's just not for me. Know what I mean?
It's not, but it's definitely cool seeing the ColecoVision name getting back out there, obviously. And yes, I'm involved with the controls and
this is information you tell me before the show.
Yeah, well.
I've talked to Chris. We actually, long time ago, helped them with a couple of the ColecoVision minis, like the strawberry shortcake and the Robotech ones they did. Which were a heck of a lot better than their Berserk and Frenzy. You know what?
They're not. They screwed up. They screwed up with the initial ones, bad testing. But in playing them, if you take yourself back to the 80s, that we would have still drooled on. That's what I do when I buy stuff. I try and put myself in the position of the time and what it's supposed to be. If you take it for today, no comparison with New Wave toys. None. And I'll say that to my dying breath. But for a cheap Coleco home console in that form factor, they weren't horrible. And in fact, my friend Neil Henry, if you're on Facebook, he runs a group called Old Made New. He will actually take your poor Berserk and Coleco Frenzy and modify them with the arcades in them and additional games. So I met him years ago. I actually had him make me an Asteroid and a Crazy Climber, the first two of that lineage from him. So you could do that too. But I think for what they were, and I got them both for like $38. So to me, it was a bargain.
For the custom ones?
For those two ones from Coleco, yes. Because remember, they were shipping them with bad boards. So I went on eBay, and he says, can pay like $60 or name your own price. I said 38, and it comes with the new boards. You have to put them in yourself, which I don't mind doing. So for $38, I got them with the new boards. I put the new boards in, and they're not great, but to go with my other Coleco machines next to it, not too bad.
You know what I think they should do? For what it's worth.
Who, the Coleco guys? Or
Coleco, yeah, I think it would be so cool if they made the Mini accept cartridges. So you can play
like the Plus. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
The Atari.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
They did.
Yeah,
like
the Atari
the Mini,
2600
the Mini,
Plus.
like the Mini arcade machine one.
Well,
I think
the
that's
console.
cartridges.
Steve wants a new ColecoVision console,
the Mini
like the
console.
2600 Plus. He wants a console to come out.
Yeah, I'm saying the Mini arcade could be a console where you could plug your cartridges into it and play Donkey Kong and a Mini plus HDMI out.
Yeah, that's essentially it.
That'd be cool,
the
right?
Home console, and if they did that, sure. Because
So we got another,
it'd be great.
Tim super
Anyways,
chat.
we digress.
Apparently his other super
exactly.
chat was force choked, he said. So that's why I was blank. My first super chat was force choked. So this is one for Never Growing Up Fund. I think Vader agrees with you, my friend. If it comes up. There it goes.
You have failed me for the last time.
There we go.
I adore the Coleco Mini arcades. And honestly, that's what inspired R-Cade, was thinking about those back when I was a kid and being like, what it could have been. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And what it could have been was an actual replica of the arcade machines, because that's what they even used to do in their advertising. Mr. Arcade, shrinks down the arcade machines, but it looks like the original, except for the artwork.
Commercials were so cheesy, but they were good.
But they were good, yeah.
And look,
They're so bad they're good.
Rogue Lyrics just ordered Crystal Castles. I knew you guys would convince me tonight. You just got another order put in for Crystal Castles.
Thanks, bro. Thank you.
They do look very nice.
I really appreciate it.
Stay tuned. We still have another giveaway soon.
Yeah.
Soon. So what did we talk about? We talked about the black hole. We talked about
Golden Tea.
We
talked about Crystal Castles.
How's Zoltar been doing?
Oh, we sold out of it so fast. We're making more.
So Zoltar is one that was not a limited run. It's just one you can make and make and make.
That's right. So we also looked at the Coke machine like that. We also looked at our boom boxes like that. The only product really is the cabs that we want to keep like strictly limited edition, just because it's the model that we built for that. But to, if we're gonna have a good hit product, we got, as a business, we need to make as many as we can,
right?
To cover the demand, right? So with Zoltar, it has such a broad reach of demographic. It's very different, and much more broad than our arcade machines. Again,
the movie Big really, I think, put that thing on the map.
It did.
Well, it's not just the movie Big. It absolutely for sure, but you go on vacation or you're driving around or you're driving through like Redwood Forest or something like that. I remember there's a Sasquatch roadside attraction. Places like that have Zoltars. Or like gift shops and candy shops and midways and all these type of things where people go and have fun. It's still relevant because there's 3,000 Zoltars spread across North America at different locations. And actually, we have quite a few of them that have taken our mini Zoltars and sell them in their little shops.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good.
Yeah, they're doing really good. They're like, this is great. They're making a $150 ring.
We have a $2 super chat from Desmond. You talked about it a little bit before, but he wants to know any more news on stools, and that the stool you sit on, not that comes out your butt.
Yeah, I was just making a joke because she destroyed my samples. Like literally, like ate all fucking covers off them. And but yeah, we're making some really cool ones. We got some really good designs. We did some limited edition stuff with the first run, right? We did like a ROM star, we did a Cinematronics, so these are brands that we actually we own them now, right? And we got a reveal on one of those, plus a special Dirty Donnie one, and we got a few other really cool stools that'll all be here for the Christmas time period.
Shilo, another question I see a lot from people is, will you sell additional rolls for Zoltar?
Yes, 100%, and we're printing those now. So we're actually injecting the roll, and then it's a two-step process. You need to inject the little plastic roll, and then that needs to go to the print shop, and then the print shop loads all the perforated tickets onto the tickets. We call them tickets; they're fortunes, right? Onto the roll. And I talked about this a little bit last time. Was with the first run of Zoltar, we thought we were doing ourselves a favor by cutting the roll in half and having an A and B roll,
right,
with basically splitting the fortunes, right? And turns out now that, and actually we found this out before we were doing pack out, that we could fit all 55 on one roll without having to change it out. And so all the new replacement rolls will be all the 55 tickets on one roll.
Nice.
And when we get them in, we owe some people some replacements that some that we shipped somehow. We missed packing it in. And then anybody who wants to buy refills, we're going to give everybody a nice little discount when we get those in, so that you can get your refills. Yeah.
Excellent. And JR has a question here. I think we answered it before, but we can do it again. Will the Golden Key control deck work with Crystal Castles? And is there any reason it wouldn't?
No, we're absolutely making sure it works.
Excellent.
Yeah. Of course, it's not
going to thinking about that when you guys were talking about it. I was like, I wonder if it works with.
I mean, it can't. There's no LEDs built into it, so it doesn't have that feature. It's not just. It just doesn't just turn on red, right? If you're familiar with Crystal Castles, there's a whole sequence that goes through.
Yeah.
So it's different for different parts of the game, right? For the most part, when you're playing, it's on, but there's also parts where it blinks or it blinks fast, or it's off. So we programmed all that in. I'm very proud of that, actually.
Another good question from the group, Shilo. The bikes, the BMX bikes.
Yeah, coming right up, boys. Yeah, for sure. We finished our tooling on those. We kind of got a little special surprise that are going to come along with the BMX bikes. And that's something we're just finishing up right now. And that's going to be shortly. And we have actually another really exciting project that I'm working on actually with your guest from a couple weeks ago, Peter. I don't know. I doubt he said
I know about it. I know, and you guys don't. I know,
Glenn
and you
knows
guys
about
don't.
it. It's super dope.
I cannot wait.
It's so fucking dope. It's just so good. We've been working on it forever.
Yeah, this one is giving Glenwood. This one has got me excited, big time.
It's really good.
Big time.
It's really
when you guys
good.
find out what this project is, it's gonna break the internet. No
it's
joke.
gonna fucking blow people's minds a little bit because it's so different, but it's in our vein 100%. It's in our sweet spot, and it's I'm not going to say anything more than it's very exciting. And Peter's an absolute beauty.
He's such a nice guy. He's such a nice guy.
We loved having him on the show. It was awesome.
Fuck, he's.
I didn't know much
incredible,
about the
man.
guy before, and Glenn said, "Hey, go check this out," and I was like, "Oh wow, that's pretty cool."
I
He is
All
an
the stuff
met
he's done.
him literally. I think it was like '98. He came out with this emulator, which we talked about, called Vector Dream, and I reached out to him and I put it in a cabinet. I was the first person to put this Vector game in this cabinet, and we talked for a long time. You know how it goes. You lose touch with people after a while,
Yeah.
and Facebook becomes
Yeah.
big, and then you find him again. But he's such a nice guy who's had a couple of times some really bad things happen because of a divorce.
You can say it, shitty things.
Destroyed him.
So it's happened to a lot of us, though, right?
Oh, I'm going to bring this one up. Any chance for a one? It's already small anyway, but a small Vectrex unit. How about that?
You know, anybody who knows me knows that Vectrex is my favorite video game console.
It's fucking awesome.
And the reason being is my dad would not let me connect anything to the televisions. I'm sorry, television, the one that was in the house.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were rich having more than one.
No, man, there was one. There was one, and I was the remote control for about 10 years.
Yeah,
go change the channel. Get up
Oh.
there. You know, ching, ching, ching.
Yeah.
No, stay. Keep it there for a minute. All right. Remember those wired remote controls? that
Oh,
came
yeah.
with the
Oh, yeah.
Xbox ones?
Clunk, clunk,
Anyways,
clunk.
tick. Yeah, I was like, no way you're hooking that shit up to the TV. It fucks up the fucking picture, blah, 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 right? Like,
Yep.
so it was like, no way
Same
that's
story at my
happening.
house. I'm sure it's the same for Glenn.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, TV never came in that great anywhere where I lived. TV was always staticky, so it didn't really matter. But back
Well,
to
I gotta
Vectrex.
say,
Back
so
to
it's like,
Vectrex.
well, the Vectrex has its own built-in screen. I've always been a huge fan of the vector graphics, and I'm like, these graphics look amazing
They were.
compared to
homebrew
what was
community.
out at the time.
Yep.
Although they were vector, they were awesome, man. I mean, they looked proper, right?
The homebrew community is quite booming on that thing still
Yes.
to this day.
Yeah.
People are programming new games for this old system still.
The
That's so
Vectrex,
remarkable.
ColecoVision, and a couple of systems just came out at the wrong time. The crash, North American crash, kind of happened. So the Vectrex never got its full stride, but its first generation of games, it had the first 3D imager
Voice.
on that
Yeah.
machine. Speech
Voice
without a
too,
cartridge. It's a
speech,
speech
yeah.
you could do in there. The
Spike.
overlays were good and bad. If you liked games that were vector-based, which I did, you know, like Armor Attack, Star Castle, Rip Off, you know, Asteroids, phenomenal. And the homebrew, like I said before, they made a version of Space Invaders using raster graphics on a Vectrex. So
How does it
back
look?
to the question, Shilo. Are we going to get one from you?
That's a really cool idea, actually, and maybe something we could look into. I have looked into Vectrex, who owns the
Public
rights.
domain now, I
these days.
believe.
Who?
I think it's public domain. The Vectrex.
No, I last time I checked, it was some company in France. So I'm not sure if they're actually video games or they're. I have to go look again, or if it's just something else. But there was a light pen for it.
Yep.
There, I mean, it was a really advanced product, and honestly, the built-in game,
Mindstorm.
We used to just play it and just keep the overlay off because it looked like asteroids.
Did you get to the level where it crashed?
No, never got to level as crash, but we got pretty damn far with and we got really good at that at Minecraft. That was an excellent game.
It was a good
Excellent.
game. And the controller was actually an analog controller, but it's self-centered. Atari.
Yeah.
Just letting you guys know they had them back then.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh? It's,
Well, you grew up in Canada, so I didn't know anybody where I lived had one. A Vectrex.
really?
No, not a
I
single
know.
person.
I even remember the interactive display at the Bay.
Really, eh?
Or
I-
Eaton's. Maybe it was Eaton's at the time.
Yeah.
At a video
I
game
just
store.
didn't have any friends that had a Vectrex. They had everything else on the block, but not that one for some reason.
Fuck, I kick myself. I saw on eBay, this is probably 5 years ago now, somebody was selling retail interactive Vectrex. with a bunch of boxed games all in the merch area underneath it, and I still kicking myself I never got
wow.
so cool.
He probably asked him a pretty penny for that one.
It actually wasn't bad, if I recall. Like, I was considering it, but I'm a bit, I come from also a retail background. I used to work for Virgin Megastores. I was the video game and collectibles buyer, so I really have a passion for like these interactive machines too, right? I mean, we had the Sega Dreamcast one in all our stores, and GameCube, and PlayStation one was really nice. It had a flat screen. I wish I had all those. Those are so cool. They're like little stand-up arcade machines.
And a lot of times they were throwing that stuff out. They were just
just threw everything out.
Yeah. The console's dead now, out the door and into the dump.
Well, get this out of here. It's taking up room in the storage. We don't have a lot of room.
Yeah.
So I got another question for you, Mr. Shilo. There was something you teased some time ago for the reissue of Dragon's Lair.
What did I tease? What did I tease? That you have to pay for the upgrade?
No, the monitor. The monitor that goes on top. Oh, I just got that. I just got that. Oh, you get this. You get a Vader for that one, Shilo. That was brutal.
You have failed me for the last time.
That was bad. But good. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. If I'm going to do this, this has to be done the right way. Shilo did a good shot there, and I got to bring this up. Hold on, everyone.
You have failed me for the last time.
That was
failed me.
That was good. That had to do that one because that was perfect. So anyway, yeah. So
can I tell you? I'll tell you guys a little fucking dirt.
Let's hear it.
I'll tell you a little fucking dirt. Pisses me off. This pisses me off because a lot of times we do a lot of work and then it just gets fucking ripped, right? Well, that's exactly what happened with Dragon's Lair. We worked for months and months and months to get the little digital scoreboard to work, right?
Yeah.
And get it to work well. And our game plays perfectly because we tested it and spent a lot of time debugging it. And anybody who knows that works with Daphne, when you're done with that, you need to go to I think it's called GitHub or whatever, and load all your code, right? You load all your code so other people can use it. That's part of Daphne's.
Right.
Yeah. So not only did our code get used, but actually the same factory that built our Dragon Lair got used to make somebody else's Dragon's Lair, and they still fucked it up.
You gotta love it. The robbers and the stealers.
They fuck it up, but they wanted you to pay to fix it.
I mean, that's why I'm saying this, just because I was just today, I was just talking to somebody and that came up and I'm like, man.
Yeah, that's marketing 101, man. We're going to sell you something broken, then we're going to charge you more
to fix it. To make it work properly.
That's Arcade 1-Up, man. Woo!
Well, before they, were able to make their scoreboard work, they were actually going to tell people to put a old tablet up in that area.
I remember that. When they showed that, I remember Cool Jet was like, "What are you doing?"
So
nuts.
Bad.
Like, how do they expect to stay in business when they're telling other people to fix their?
You know what, Steve?
It makes no sense to me from a business standpoint.
Here's the deal. They absolutely kicked our fucking ass in unit sales, okay, over the years by not giving a shit. And we gave a shit, and now we're kicking their ass because we set the gold standard and they are what they are.
That's exactly it.
So
you gotta set the bar high where they can't reach it.
Anyway.
That's exactly what it is. Anyways, enough free Arcade 1-Up publicity.
Wait, but yeah, enough for that. So what about the little TV?
Yeah. Well, the little TV is, I've mentioned this before, we're adding a yellow RCA jack to the back.
Okay.
So you could play your old consoles on it. It's going to scale to 4:3 aspect ratio. And we did a lot of redesign on it with the new CRT FX lens on it. It's really cool. We built in it's front heavy, just like a CRT television.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We made it front heavy, but for two reasons. One, just because I think people are really going to dig that when they pull it out and they're like, oh, it's all heavy in the front, like a real CRT. But it also helps it stay stationary on top of Dragon's Lair or Space Ace or what other game you're mirroring.
That's perfect.
And I had to do that. And it's a whole redesign, a whole new chip, a whole new everything, whole new factory again with this too. Just so it had more purpose than just, being a mirroring spectator monitor for Replicade. Now people will buy that as a standalone thing that aren't even into what we're doing, just because they want a little mini CRT TV to play, whatever it might be, VHS videos, DVDs, whatever, right? It made it into a more of a mass appeal product. And the plan is to announce the pre-sale and pre-sell it with a new game that's in the same vein as I'll tell you, it's a Laserdisc game that we're working on, a new Laserdisc game. And but it's probably the most we've bitten off and chewed for a game ever. And
I know about biting all to where you can chew. My iiRcade stuff. Oh man.
So if that cab's not ready, in the time frame, like by the end of the year type of thing, man, time is flying by, isn't it, guys? It's crazy. Summer's over now, and boy, we're going to be in Christmas here right away, right? So if we can't get this particular project ready at that time, we'll still do the pre-sale for the mini spectator monitor.
Nice.
So either way, we're going to get it out because it's way ahead of what this other Laserdisc project is. We love Laserdisc.
I know what we need, and I told you this before. Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And Mad Dog McCree wouldn't be bad either. So, just saying. I don't know anything.
Games. I always liked Astron Belt myself. I was always a big fan of Astron Belt.
Astron Belt's pretty good too.
Or Mach 3.
Firefox is awesome.
And Mach 3 is another good one. Love that.
Was it a Cobra Command? Not Cobra Command.
Cobra Command.
Yeah.
Cobra Command was a laser that was in the Cliffhanger cabinet. They took the they took the cabinets and repurposed them with from the Cliffhanger ones. So
yeah, it's. I wanted to say something about the Crystal Castles cab.
Do it.
Isn't it like just like Atari's like masterpiece? Like it really is. Like it has the marquee on the top,
it's
right?
A great looking cabinet.
And then it has that secondary area with the speakers and the Atari marquee, and it's all illuminated down that whole second area. I think it's absolutely so friggin' cool and beautiful, just that aspect that they added that at that time. Mm-hmm. And they actually didn't really use that cab for a lot of other games. There's a couple, but I'm surprised they didn't use it for more, honestly.
Well, I think the big thing with that cab, though, is just the artwork. I mean, it's just such a eye-catching, popping design with the artwork. That's killer for me.
The artwork is.
Glenn, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Why? I must have either been sleeping. Why is everybody typing giveaway in the chat? Did you say to type giveaway?
Oh, because they wanted to do the last giveaway.
Yeah.
But no. But did you tell them to type that?
No.
Oh, it's a
They're
wall of the word giveaway.
They're doing hints. I want the last
it's
giveaway.
Literally
that's
going
why,
by, and I'm like, did I miss Glenn?
No, that's why I said save Ghouls and Ghosts for last, because that's what they want.
That's fine, but I was just like,
if they want it, they got to hang out till we're ready to do the giveaway. We're planning it within the next.
Come on, guys! Don't you want to hang out with us? All you want is giveaways.
4 hours. We're doing 4 hours.
We're going 4 hours tonight.
But I was just sitting there going, did I like flash out or have a stroke and miss the words
Does that happen
giveaway in
to you
the
often,
chat
Steve?
or
Is
what's
that
that?
happening to you a lot these days?
No, I was maybe
All
at
right,
first.
okay, good.
I was like, did I miss that or something, or what the hell's going on?
It's like your kids at home. But we're going to the movies. Come on, let's go to the movies. Let's go.
Oh yeah, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there
Exactly.
yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
The last good movie I saw was the new Mad Max Furiosa.
Was that any good? I haven't
seen
watched
that
it
yet.
yet. Yeah, I haven't watched
Fuck, it's awesome.
I watched Alien
Totally awesome.
Romulus, and it was okay. It wasn't horrible.
Apparently,
it was
it's doing really well at the box office.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible. There was a lot of good Easter eggs in it. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. So I would say it's kind of like not quite as good, but like Maverick, where it's the same formula of the original, and there's some callbacks in a respectful way
Oh, that's good.
without having to.
No spoilers.
Right, no spoilers. Not doing that. But
Yeah.
it wasn't bad. I'll have
The
to check
last
out the new
movie I
Mad Max,
watched
though.
was Hear No Evil, See No Evil with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. That's the last thing I watched. Actually, no, that's false. What did I watch the other day with my daughter? A movie called Joyride. It's pretty funny, actually.
Is that about the truck driver candy cane?
No, it's a
Candy cane.
it's a few Asian girls, and it's funny as hell. Like it's actually funny. My daughter
Had me
wanted
at
to
Asian
watch
girls.
it.
Don't gloss over that so fast, Steven.
No, but like I was like, okay, I'll watch this with the daughter and stuff, and it was hilarious. It's one of these non-woke movies that needed to be done.
Non-woke? I would never watch that.
No. So yeah, it's pretty. It was pretty good. So it's.
Well, I tell you, my brother and I have been watching Resident Alien.
Very good show.
Yeah. Yeah,
love that
just finished the first
show.
season.
I'm the one that told you about it. Let's
Yeah.
go watch that.
I'm saying I got the first season's done, and actually, he was
It's
before
awesome.
tonight's show. He's like, I'm ready to watch it. It's like I'm getting ready for the show.
It's a great
you know,
show.
the high value I put into the show here. I can't. It took me like 6 hours to get ready today. 7 maybe.
Well, the guy that does the alien, he plays K2SO in Rogue
Yes.
One. Alan Tudyk. He's such a Shilo. Watch that series. It's awesome. It's great. It's funny. But my wife and I were watching Orphan Black Echoes, which is a human cloning drama series. It's pretty cool. It's based on the original
What do you
one.
guys think? Is that shit real? Is that shit going on? There's some pretty compelling stuff about clones of like, famous people and stuff like that.
I don't know.
Eminem, like he just looks like a fucking robot. It's kind of wild.
Possibly.
Man.
I don't know. This show actually poses. This show actually does the. It's not spoilery or anything, but what if somebody cloned somebody in 3 different ages? In other words, and they all got together like a teenage version of yourself, an adult, and a senior version of yourself, and what that would be like being around the 3 people like that of the same genetic structure and the dynamics. It's pretty.
I would like beat the shit out of my younger self. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, probably. Shut up.
I wouldn't. I would send mine to work. I would send mine to work so I can chill at home.
Go invest in Google. Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But yeah,
it's
it's an interesting show.
Stephen,
So
we
it's
talked
pretty-
about this, I think, last week. Where we talked about Star Wars and how I was young and Halloween, how we used to make our own costumes.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So Star Wars came out in 1977. So that October, I was 8 years old. And we made our own costumes. I found that picture. I found the picture of
Oh,
me.
the one you were talking about.
of
Yeah,
me as
yeah.
R2-D2.
Because you said I'll go dig it up. Yes,
I
yes,
found
go for
it.
it.
So this is how we
Let's
were back
see it.
then. We made our own costumes, and this was
Yeah.
me, 8 years old, 1977, as R2-D2. If it comes up, that's in me.
That's not bad. That's a mixture of the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz and
Kind
R2.
of. And if you look at my chest plate, there's an R2-D2, bubblegum card to let you guys know I'm R2-D2. Yeah.
Your ID badge.
But if you can look in the middle, I have my third leg. I have my big third
You
leg.
got
Look,
your third
but look
leg,
at the
your
end of it.
tripod.
Look at the end of that third leg and tell me what you see. My mother made that.
Toilet paper roll?
No, I'm saying look at the shape of the end of my third leg.
It's hard to tell, but
yeah,
well,
I can.
It looks like Glenn is very well endowed. Let's just put it that way.
Your mom wanted to go out in the world proud, I guess. I don't know.
You know, it's funny. I grew up in Canada, and by the time Halloween rolled around, it was fucking cold already. Like it was freezing, man. So it's like doesn't even matter what you were dressed up as. You still have to put on a parka over top of it.
Yeah, I remember snow machines driving around in October at the Halloween. Snow machines, and you're out there trick or treating with your clown costume with a big coat underneath or whatever you had on, or you know.
Just put it over top. I mean, because the costume was small, right? So you had to
yeah.
So
hey, I'm Dracula. Or
heading supposed to be just trick or treat. Give me some candy. Fuck.
I'm Dracula heading north. Thanks. But that's the thing. He's right though. Shiloh's absolutely right. Here in Canada, in October in the 80s, it snowed fairly early, and it was cold as hell.
It is cold, man. It's cold already by then.
And were houses even relatively close to one another? I always picture houses far apart in Canada. Is that not true?
No. It's just like suburbs anywhere. They're right next door to each other.
It's just there's snow machines on the street instead of cars, and if there's too much snow and people driving around.
As in making snow?
No.
Oh.
He's talking about like graders and stuff like
skidoos, or if you say skidoos,
getting the snow off the road, basically. Is that what you're saying, Steve?
No, they're like snow machines, like ATVs, but a snow machine with a track.
Oh,
skis.
That's called a snowmobile, my friend.
A snowmobile. Well, here we call them differently.
I think on that note, I'm going to put in the live chat for everyone who's been so patient for this Ghosts and Goblins.
It's worth $900.
I'm sorry. Ghouls and Ghosts. My apologies. Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yeah, so Ghouls and Ghosts with Ghosts and Goblins, but in the Ghouls and Ghosts cab that has white T-molding and the black HS1 cab.
First, I got to post.
It's a beauty.
It was true. I did have a third leg that day at 8 years old. The women were all over me. All right. So on that, if you want a chance to win the final prize tonight, which is a Ghouls and Ghosts, which has Ghouls and Ghosts and Ghosts and Goblins on it, the live chat now has it here. It's New Wave and GRS. New Wave and GRS. Put that in the live chat just like you see it without the arrow. And we'll talk for another minute or two, and we'll pick a winner for the prize. So, Shilo.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck. So, Shilo, is there anything else you can tell us about any prize? People always ask this, so I'm going to ask anyway. Is there anything coming up that you can tell us? Is there any new product or company you're working with?
I already showed you the new stool sample. Okay.
Yeah, we smell it.
I already told you there's a Laserdisc game in the works.
You did.
What else do you guys want from me? You know we're pretty tight.
I'm trying to be like P-Dubs. I'm trying to wring a little more out of you. I'm trying to get one more thing from you.
He doesn't want the thieves stealing their ideas.
The thieves will always steal the ideas, but nobody will be the originators.
Well, not only that, people can steal the ideas. It doesn't mean they're going to make it the right way. You know, that's the big thing.
That's been proven.
It definitely has been proven. You know, and I see all these people. You know, they knew this arcade one-up company came out with that claw machine. That thing's going to break within 10 minutes of being used. I'm surprised people are going crazy over it. That's a mechanical thing. They can't even get buttons and joysticks to work, and they have this claw machine.
Off the shelf stuff doesn't even work.
Yeah. So people want to pre-order that sucker. Big mistake, in my opinion. So we're gonna wait another minute here.
How much is it? How much is it?
I want to say it was $4.99. Let me see if I can find it here.
Oh my God!
And what do you put your own? You put your own prizes in there, or what?
Doesn't even come with your $1 Chinese stuffed toys or nothing.
Okay, we're doing a claw machine in 1/6 scale.
There we go.
That comes fully loaded with fucking tons of shit. Fuck you, Arcade 1-Up.
Let's see if they have it on their site. I see all the other machines, but I don't see the claw machine.
Let's not talk
I want to
about
say.
them.
I want to say it was
No free
$4.
advertising anymore. No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
$4.99.
no more. No more.
Hey, if
No
people want to
free
buy stuff that
advertising.
breaks out of the box, go
Hey.
for it.
Hey, you
Those
wanna
guys
spend
don't need free
$500 on a
advertising.
piece
New
of
Wave
shit,
Toys does.
That's your fucking problem.
No, it's funny though. My son was probably 10, so I probably like 12 years now. They sold a small little claw machine. It was like, $25. It worked pretty well. You put in, gum and candy and stuff in there, and it worked. Uh-oh. We have a super chat from Kevin Claus. Let me pull this up over here. Shilo just won my heart. And on top of that, you got Vader's gear.
You have failed me for the last time.
Boom.
The wrath.
To Shilo, it's
Thank
good
you.
to see that people actually like engaging with you because you actually talk to them like people. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, let's pull this up from here. So we have up for grabs a Ghouls and Ghosts cabinet that has Ghouls and Ghosts and Ghosts and Goblins. That goes for about $900 on eBay. You're going to win one right now. So
Don't
make
sell
sure you
it
put
on
in the
eBay.
chat
Enjoy it.
New Wave and GRS. And I'm going to pick it as soon as Shilo says, roll it. Take your time.
Oh, I'm gonna. I have all night.
Oh, before you say roll it, what happened to that little skeet ball machine? Still working on that?
Yes, we are.
How's that going? How's that going?
Well, we showed it to a lot of people last year around this time at the Cleveland Gaming Classic, right? Which was fun, by the way, and it was really great to meet a lot of people there last year. And however, that unit was missing a very important feature.
Was it the 3D button?
You'll have to wait and find out. But we absolutely greenlit it. We did a survey. We got a really good response, like at the show and stuff. And it's definitely a staple in a lot of arcades. There were a lot of arcades had skeet balls. So added another feature. So it's a surprise feature that we'll reveal during the pre-sale. Which will be coming up. So absolutely, we never stopped working on it. In fact, kept working on it even harder and added this very special feature that I know everybody's going to dig.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what, Shilo? I want to go work at New Wave Toys now.
We all do.
I want to leave everything behind and just go.
Come work with us.
Knock on the door. I'm here for.
Please. We need help.
You know what?
It's actually it's awesome. We have a small team, and everybody, like I said before, everybody wears a lot of hats, but we're really efficient at and getting better at a lot of things. And our goal for next year is to really improve our time to market, and we're staffing up a little bit on our team overseas. And it's everything's going in the right direction for us. So
cool.
It was a little bit of a rough start to the year. If anybody was watching the podcast and stuff earlier, I told a few things that were happening, and but ebbs and flows, and things right now are flowing.
Good, awesome.
All right.
So if you're ever in the hiring market there, feel free to promote.
All right,
it on our channel.
boom, drop it.
Drop it. Here we go. Boom.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Clausen. Kevin Clausen, you just won a New Wave Toys Ghouls and Ghosts. Please make sure you email glensretroshow@gmail.com with your full name, address, and phone number. We'll get you that product out.
That's
Congratulations, Kevin.
And in case you missed out on it, like I mentioned, if you might have missed it, but we have a little stash of these that we transferred over from our fulfillment center in China. And we'll be putting those on sale around Halloween. So if you missed out,
now you still got a chance.
Cool.
Yep. Not a lot, but it's enough.
Too many buttons.
But the Ghosts and Goblins they're all gone. There's like we have a few for warranty replacements, and then that's it.
Yeah, you always have to keep some for that very reason, right? Just in case something does go wrong.
Yeah, and some people buy extended warranties too. So, they might come back to us in 10 years from now and we're like, we have to have them, right? So
I suppose so. So what would happen if you didn't?
Well, we would comp them something else they would want, if we didn't have it.
That's cool.
But we try to be cognizant of that to keep those, right? So don't anybody be thinking about breaking into our warehouse. I'll sick my puppy on you.
Shilo, we had a question from Zero Sleep, a $2 super chat. Thank you. Shilo, are you going to Prague this year?
No, we've decided to not go because of our Chicago thing.
Well, Vader's not happy about that.
I'm sorry, Vader.
You have failed me for the last time.
He's always angry.
I love that smashing sound. You got to listen to it afterwards.
Talk about an impactful character, huh?
Yes.
Like from our childhood.
Yes.
And the voice. I could not tell you any other thing James Earl Jones has ever been in, honestly. I have no idea.
Field of Dreams he was in. Hunt for Red October. Two big ones.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, even to this day, after all these years, even after Kathleen Kennedy did her worst, Vader is still like the ultimate bad guy. He's the bad guy. He is. Even after all the stuff they did, he's still someone you don't want to F with. Because if you do, you're dead. You're just dead.
It's just so friggin' magical, and especially as a kid going to see it in the theater in 1977 or 78 or whatever it was that came out. My mom took me, and I still remember sitting in the seat just being fucking blown away by Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
blown away.
That first ship going over, we had no idea. When that first ship came over top, you were blown away completely.
Yeah,
fuck yeah,
yeah, for sure.
And we just got another super chat from Goofyfoot. I just need to see Kathleen Kennedy get one. All right, I could do that. Right, Kathleen Kennedy's got to get pounded. Hold on a second. We'll bring this up over here. Let's go over here.
And not the good kind.
Not the good kind of pounding. Hold on.
You're right.
You have failed me for the last time.
I know. That was a good one, too. You got to do that one. Here we go.
You have failed me for the last time.
And you know what? That's so good. Maybe we could do one more time, just because it's Kathleen Kennedy.
You have failed me for the last time.
That is so satisfying.
It's funny. I didn't even know who that was until Glenn had me on the show, and then now I totally know who it is. And you certainly have a strong hatred towards that woman.
I have a healthy hatred because she basically destroyed.
Not killed it in a good way.
Star Wars, Indiana Jones. Pretty much the strongest movie franchises there are, and she just destroyed it.
Yeah.
And then J.J. Abrams.
More powerful than Vader himself.
Was it her or was it the whole agenda?
Well, the shirt puts it right. I got to go back. So we have to go back here. The shirt says it all, Shilo. If I go back over here. Oh, I can't see it. Under there, it says the Force is female. Okay. Which, the Force is not female. The Force is not male. The Force was for everyone. She's the one who threw the gauntlet down and pissed everyone off. So.
Well, but guess what? They don't care. And you can see the reviews of the series that's on now. That
Acolyte crap.
It got canceled, right?
Yeah.
I know. I'm really sad too.
I didn't even bother watching it.
I just
don't waste your time.
Stomach it. Yeah.
Nothing to see.
I didn't even look.
But actually, I like The Mandalorian.
Very good.
First 2 seasons were good. Third season, not so much.
And actually, Glenn, you're the one who told me about that. I'm like, what, man? I mean, I don't. I'm like so stuck in the past. It's not even funny, man. I still have a rotary dial phone here at the house.
Get out.
I'm serious?
You got to do YouTube videos with little kids that
you do
the call.
That's
how do you use this thing?
We need a 1/6 scale working rotary phone.
Yeah.
Asking you shall receive, Glenn. We have.
And then it'd be the little hand thing. It'd be this big. Hello.
I don't think it needs.
Hello?
I think it just needs to be full scale so people can have these in their house again and trip their kids out.
Make it Bluetooth inside so it connects with your actual phone, so you can actually call and dial out.
Yeah, something
That'd
like
be funny.
that. You know, it's funny, and it's like it's old school, and it's mint, and man, they had a metal plate on the bottom. You could smash somebody over the head with this.
Oh
phone.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Use it as a boat anchor too if you want
it.
Back then, AT&T, when you couldn't buy them, you could only rent. You were not allowed to purchase the phones. Those things, you can be Indiana Jones, climb inside, and you would survive a nuke. They were like that. And then, of course, when you start buying them, they were good for a time. I know Radio Shack made a couple models that were decent. And then they just became, you could take the phone and like
commodity crap. Yeah.
no good
But at one time it was very hardcore, like solid plastic metal, like just crazy.
Oh yeah.
And it still works fine to this day and crystal clear. Crystal clear. It's
it
amazing.
was pretty funny. I made a school project about the telephone in grade school, and I borrowed phones from the telephone company. And the guy, this was the time when you were allowed to smoke inside buildings. Well, the guy handed me some phones. They all smelled like cigarette. Every last one of them smelled like really bad. And my mother thought I was the one smoking because it was part of my project, and I was like had these phones, right? And I'm like, no, smell, look. And she was like, wow. She thought I started smoking or something.
Just from the smell off that.
Off the old telephones. I'm talking about the black ones from the 50s there, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, those.
With
the back first, not first ones,
like that
but,
little
you know.
duck, like the duck thing you talked into, like a duck mouth.
No, not those. They were the
Not a
both,
duck
but they
mouth,
were
regular
the
phone.
beginner ones. You know, the first ones where they had the hearing and the talking. You know, so it was pretty funny.
It was funny. I was over at my buddy's the other day, and I'm like, oh shit, I got to call. I was supposed to call my mom or something, right? And so I just pick up the phone and I type in the number, and the kid was blown away. He's like, "You know the number?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was just blown away, man. He's like a 15-year-old kid. It was hilarious. But I still know a bunch of numbers. I know all my best friends. I know all their phone numbers off by heart.
Yeah, same here. I still remember the phone number, and I'm like, I don't know why I remember, but I just remember them.
Because you dialed it all the time, you know, and it embedded in your brain.
I mean, that's what gets me. That's what gets me about slasher films today, because they have to just do this, and then we had to do this. And then you're dead. You didn't have a chance to dial a number.
Yeah.
Even 911 was a chore.
Yeah, they should have made it 111. Why 9?
Yeah, that's right. By the time the 9 rolled back around, you were dead.
Yeah. And I remember the early push button phones still had the dial mode. So if you wanted to piss off your brother or something like that, and they're trying to dial it quick, you switch it over, and they do this. It's got to go.
I don't remember that, Glenn. Is that right?
Yeah.
They pulse dialed the phones. Yeah.
Yep.
The
early push buttons
touch
had a
tones,
pulse mode.
That's right. And then you did memory, and then you just hit them all, and it would literally sit there for 16, 15 minutes just dialing, just one after the other. Is funny. So
the good old days before they had caller ID.
Yeah, crank calls.
Is your fridge running? Well, you better catch it. You know, one of those good old days.
I got to tell you the one crank call I did when I was a kid. This is funny. There was a place. It was a meat processing plant, and they in French they call it abattoir, where you slaughter, for meat packing, right? I called there and I was like, "Do you guys have any horse meat? Like horse?" Because I had just seen it on television that in France they sold horse meat. So I knew that here they wouldn't.
Well, apparently in some parts of the U.S. it's cats and dogs, but
Yeah, that's right. But this place, the woman, I had her going for about 10 minutes about like horse meat, and she was actually entertaining the idea. It was like the worst crank call ever because it was all, she was playing along with it or something. I was like, "Oh, lady, click." It was pretty funny. So
you guys remember the Jerky Boys?
Of course.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was like the last little era you could actually get away with like prank calling somebody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like before cell phones and everything else.
ID
But
and all
that
that
fucking Jerky Boys was funny, man. That fucking tape was funny, man.
Oh,
really
yeah.
funny.
Hey,
Milky Tits. I need them. Frank Rizzo. Fuck, one of the worst movies. One of the worst movies ever made, though.
Yeah.
But you know if you guys seen the movie or not. But that CD was really funny.
Well, guys, I've got to run. It's
right.
I'm
It's
not the
past his
time not to,
bedtime,
but I've got
Shiloh.
to run. No, I got to spend time with the kids and my wife and stuff like that. So
Shiloh,
But anyways.
once again, we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate all the giveaways.
You guys can
appreciate
keep
all the
going if you
insight.
want, but I got to split.
Thank you for having me, you guys.
Always a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
And we thank everyone in the chat for joining and staying with us. We definitely ran long tonight, but hey, we had Shiloh on. We had a good time.
It's always a good time. Yeah.
Always a great
good.
time.
Yep.
Oh,
for sure.
We got one more super chat just came through. Hold on. Chicago Retro Ranger. What's up, fellas? Shiloh, I bow to you. Please give me a Capcom blue cabinet.
The big blue, they call
Big
it.
blue.
The Capcom Big Blue, yeah. They're ginormous cabinets by Capcom.
Oh, I know exactly what it is.
Marvel versus Capcom 3 was in those beasts, I think.
Bunch of stuff was in those. What was it? Saturday Night Slam Fest.
Bunch of them. Yeah.
Wrestling game. What else? There's some other stuff. Yeah, I think
the list is too long.
I think Big Blue would translate really nice and
It probably would. It'd probably be
stick
done
scale.
so much better.
Yeah. So
for sure.
And I have to tell you,
you never know, there, bud. You never know.
I have to tell you, Shiloh, you can watch Space 1999 on YouTube. I'm trying to watch 20 times in a row, and I'm at 18 officially now, watching this one episode here. So 2 more, I'll hit 20.
Wow.
And it's a good show. It's a good show. At least watch the first one. If you're in the live chat and never saw it, go on YouTube, look up Space 99 Breakaway. Just watch that one show and see if you like it. It's 24 episodes.
And while you're at it, go watch
I
the first
started
episode of
watching
Gilligan's
one.
Island.
I started watching one earlier, and it was a couple people talking, a lady and a guy, I think, and they were looking at like screens with wavelengths on them.
Yeah, that's all the time. That's what they do.
Is that the same? Is that the same episode?
Well, they
very
have
beginning
two.
of it?
Well, there's two. It's the same show. Second season is kind of different. The first season is more like surreal, mental type of a show, and then they Americanized the second season. And the guy who did the third season of Star Trek, who produced the third season, which is considered the worst season of Star Trek, he came over and basically ran it down. There were some good episodes, but basically there was an episode where trees were killing them.
So you did a Kathleen Kennedy to your favorite show.
Yeah,
basically.
pretty much, yes. There was one with a rock that was killing them, and one with a tree that was killing
Not
them.
the Rock, just
No.
a Rock.
A rock. A rock.
Not Dwayne Johnson.
Yes, but the special effects were done by Brian Johnson, I think, who did 2001: Space Odyssey. He hosted Star Wars, but the effects
and the fake moon landing. Don't forget the fake moon landing.
not fake moon landing. It was real. We did the moon landing. Although I would love to have an eagle, a real eagle. I mean, I got these.
Do you really think that fucking piece of shit landed on the fucking moon?
You know what? I'm going to tell you
You need a
something. I
reality check.
absolutely think yes. What gets me is We did land on the moon in '69 with one rocket, the Saturn V, the LEM, very primitive technology, and now we're spending $20 trillion on a rocket that can barely get off the ground. It still needs additional equipment in orbit to get to land on the moon. It's just I don't understand what the hell the problem is. They are taking
because you can't go there, Glenn. That's the Van Allen belts. NASA's admitted it. They're like, you can't go there. You can't leave the fucking.
You can. I would do it. Also, I'll go up.
Because there's a dome and the Earth is flat.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So that little fucking pod thing landed there. Okay.
The LEM.
Okay. And where was the rover? Like, was that just strapped on the back of the pod?
No.
Or
So when you go to the first cargo door on the right, you open that up. The LEM rover was folded up. So you pulled it out. Remember, it's 1/6 or 1/8 gravity. So you pulled it out, unfolded the rover there. So it got very compact.
You know what? We need to get Shilo on a show that we're going to do conspiracy theories. I think he'd be perfect for it. You know,
I mean, it's not even a conspiracy theory. It's like just
no. In general, just talk about all this stuff.
But it's like,
cool.
So they went up there in 1969, 1971, but they fucking can't do it now. And they were transmitting shit back and taking fucking video.
And I'm telling you why. The reason they can't do it now is because everyone's got everyone's money in everyone else's pockets, and they're going to milk and look at Boeing. You have SpaceX.
I mean, but don't you think? Like, let me say this. Don't you think that it would be completely commercialized by this time if you started going there 5 years ago?
I agree. It should be.
Don't you think you'd be going up there and staying in a hotel now and mining moon rocks? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yep, I totally agree. And that's what we're going to start doing now. But the problem is you can't have the government doing it. It's going to be SpaceX. It's going to be Blue Origin. It's going to be these independent companies. Because the government can't get out of its own way. They are so corrupt with the money and everything else. The big problem is with this new rocket is they had to get it going. They had to say we'll use existing space shuttle technology. The space shuttle technology was never designed to leave Earth orbit. It was designed for Earth orbit. Yet the Congress and the House said that's what you need to use to make your rocket. So that's where the problem is. The Saturn V was designed from the ground up to go to the moon. So that's stupidity to keep people's
will
jobs.
Get there before the U.S. will, or the
it's just
government, whatever.
But see, that's a good
With
thing
that
about our
being
show.
said-
We do everything here. We talk about anything.
But okay. Well, one more thing, and you could just. I mean, I'm just pointing out facts here. Okay. There's a lot of people that look at the footage and can break it down from lighting sources. And there's lighting sources coming from everywhere, meaning that there's lighting coming from everywhere.
There is.
Right?
You know why that is, right?
No.
The moon,
why don't you tell me? And also,
moon,
when you can expand on that and tell me why there's no stars.
Sure. Well, the thing with the being lit everywhere.
Oh, you're going to be here for another hour. I'm out of here.
He's right, Steven. So the moon's surface
putting gas in the
is
fire.
very reflective. The moon's surface is very reflective. So as the sun hits down, it reflects all the light around. That answers that. And I forgot your second question. The stars.
There's no
stars because any camera cannot have an aperture to take the brightness of the moon. You have to close the aperture, which means you're not going to see the stars. If you point the camera up at the stars and not at the moon, they have pictures of stars from the moon. They do have pictures of it. It's there.
All right.
Well, Shilo doesn't believe it happened, so let's end the show.
Well, actually, I think it's really funny that they made a movie saying that they faked it.
Well, I saw that movie. The guy
came out.
Talked about it. They did.
Yeah.
But they also
What is that?
have satellites orbiting the moon right now with photographs of the LEM, of the landing legs, of the flag, of the footprints and the tracks. So they could have that movie, but we have probes around the moon right now photographing the areas where we walked, where we drove. And I always say this, we as a people, as a society, sell ourselves short. humans are a lot more intelligent, more ingenuity than we give ourselves credit for. I don't think aliens built the pyramids. I think people built it. I think a lot of slaves built it. I think a lot of people died building them. But I think we built it. Stonehenge, people built.
Yeah.
You built the replicades. I built the super joystick and the Sinden light guns. That's stuff humans can do. If I can do that, I can go to the moon.
Okay, good night, guys. I'm out. This is like religion talk almost here. I'm out.
Later, Steve.
I will
Enjoy
see
your
you guys
Super
later.
machine.
And it was always a pleasure to have you, Shilo.
Thanks, Steve.
Every time. So, good night,
Email
guys.
me your address.
Sent the email a few minutes ago. So
Okie
you should
dokie.
have an email from me. All right.
Right on,
Good night.
Steve-o. Good
And see
seeing
you guys
you.
next Friday. And thanks for coming. Good night, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So did I prove to you that we landed on the moon? Did I convince you?
No.
Are you convinced?
Did I convince you we didn't?
No. We definitely went. Do I have Steven's picture here somewhere? I thought I still had Steven's picture. Let me see.
Nah, I honestly think it would be commercialized by now, man, if you could do it, you know? It'd almost be a ladder going up there, just like fucking back and forth.
Well, they're working on a space ladder, but that's going to take carbon nanotubes because of the weight and everything that's on it. But in any case, Shilo, buddy, I appreciate you coming on tonight. I appreciate all you guys in the chat who are still here, as we're now just talking total nonsense.
Yeah, we've completely fucking digressed. I'm sorry, everybody.
We've jumped the shark 5 feet over. That's okay.
That's all good. It's an interesting topic, actually.
It is. And,
yeah.
you know, it does frustrate me with the amount of it's taking way too long, way too much money. And I still think the SLS system is not the way to go, especially with the money we spend. It's not sustainable. If each launch is going to take like $4 billion for one launch, it's not sustainable.
$4 billion?
Yeah, it's insane.
Okay, let's help all the veterans. Let's help all the people struggling out there. Let's use that money for that.
I agree with you, but we could don't take the money from the space program for that. We could take that from all the other stupid things we do in this country instead of putting it in the proper
giving
spot.
away money in general, yes. You know, why are you doing it? It's money laundering, basically, probably.
It is. It's government does that very well. They are very good at taxing us to death, then taxing us on stuff they taxed us on, and then at the end of the year saying, we're going to tax you on the tax that we taxed you on.
Fuck. So, good thing Steve's gone. Don't even, like, Canada's like twice as bad as it is here.
Really?
Yeah. It's really fucking bad there. Any Canadians listening, you know what I mean.
Well, are you in California right now? You're back in Canada right now?
Oh, no, I'm in Cali. I usually go back to Canada during Christmas time.
It's not too far off.
I know. It's coming right up. It's crazy. But anyway.
All right.
For those that are still here, thank you for your support.
We appreciate you guys.
Really
we'll see you guys next week. Shilo, have a good weekend.
Thank
find
you,
my
Glenn.
stupid thing here. And I'll see you all next week. Game on, everyone. Oh, you know what? Before we go, let's go out with a bang, Shilo.
Yeah, let's go.
You have failed me for the last time. You have failed me for the last time.
There is a great disturbance in the Force, but I will always be with you.
Game on.
Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog.